Hello everyone, this is Mr. Steven. Okay, this is a special video kind of. I wanna, you know, do a short video, I guess. I don't know, a short video, a long video. I really don't know like how long this video will be. I'm gonna review all of the basic concepts, I guess. Everything that we have learned so far, okay? Because it seems like some of you guys are struggling, right? Some of you guys don't even know the basic concepts, right? So that's the idea. I want to make this video. I'm gonna try to explain it as slow as possible, I guess. So I think if some of you guys already know some of the concepts that I'm going to explain, you can just skip the video, and maybe you can jump into whatever section that you are struggling with. For example, if you are struggling with loop and you have already understood all of these, you can just skip ahead to this section or whatever. Okay. So yeah, first of all, it's about data types, right? It's very very easy, right? In Python, we have four of the most common data types. Okay, the first one is called string, and then integer, we have float, and the last one is called boolean. Okay, so the first one is string. What is string? String is just a text. Okay, so for example, if we have the text called hello, or like hi there, my name is Steven. Okay, these are called strings. Okay, or texts. And you might realize I'm putting a quotes over here. Why is that? That's just the rule of Python. Okay, if you want to put a string, you need this quote. Okay, we can try by making a new file. Okay, of course you can just open your PyCharm. You can just right click over here and just new Python file. Okay, um, I'm just gonna name it review of everything. Okay, let's just say you want to print a text called hello. If you just put it directly like this without any quotes whatsoever, of course it's gonna say error. It's not working. Okay, just like what I said, you need this quote if you're gonna put a text or a string. So now it will work. Okay, print hello. The result is hello. Sorry if my voice is kind of shivering a bit. I don't know. My throat is not feeling isn't that well today. Okay, so the next one is called integer. Okay, what is an integer? An integer is basically just how do I say it? It's like a whole number. Yeah, just a number. For example, like the number 5, the number 20, the number 50, and so on. Okay, we also have a float. Float means a decimal number, right? Or like a number with a floating point, such as 5.5, whatever, 9.99, and so on. Okay, the last thing we have is called boolean. Boolean is basically just a data type which can contain two values. It's either false or true. Okay, true or false. So yep, very very simple, right? So yeah, the next one that we have is called variable. What is a variable? Variable is basically, I would say, is like a container. A container. It's like a box, like a bag, or like whatever you wanna call it. So this container, which stores a value inside. Okay. So for example, if you wanna make a variable called name, we can just put name over here, right? Name is equals to Steven. And then let's just say, so this one is like, I have a container called name, and I name that container called, sorry, and the value inside that box or inside that container is Steven. Okay, so just like that, imagine that you have a box. Okay, let's just make a PowerPoint for some reason. How do I make this? Yeah, whatever. I have a box. Okay, so this is a box. I'm gonna name this box name. Okay, whatever. Sorry guys, I'm struggling here. Yeah, let's just put this is a box, and the box name is called name. All right. Sorry, shape outline. Shape fill. There you go. No fill. Shape outline. There you go. Okay, I have this little box called name, and I'm putting a value called Steven. Okay, so I might like draw something here. Scribble. What is this? Is this the right one? Whatever. I'm putting a value called Steven. Okay, inside here. Sorry, I messed up. Just imagine that this is an arrow. Okay, do you see that? Yeah, this is an arrow. I'm gonna put a value of Steven. Okay, Steven. Just like that. Okay. So I'm putting this value called Steven inside the box. Boom, just like that. Okay, so I have this container or like a box or a bag, whatever you want to call it. It's called name and it has one value of Steven. Okay, so just like that. Of course, if I run this thing, oh, nothing is shown. Sir is a liar. Where's Steven? Of course, in order to call the variable, we do the same thing as before. We just print the name. Okay, which means, oh, you know, take out that content out of the box. What is inside name? Oh, inside name we have Steven. Okay, boom, we have Steven. Okay, just like that. Of course, we can also make another variable. Let's just say another variable called age. Okay, how old is Steven? Let's just say Steven is an old guy. Okay, he is 25 years old, whatever. Okay, so we have name and we have age. We can just put, for example, how do I um how do I say it? For example, I want to print Steven is 25 years old. Okay, how can we do this? How can we combine this text, this variable and this variable, and then we add some text, Steven is 25 years old. Well, we do that thing using concatenation, okay, using the plus sign. But you'll see a problem, if you use the plus sign, like name Steven is 25 years old, okay, this one, we would expect this one to show like Steven is age 25 years old, right? But if I run this thing, it's gonna see error, can only concatenate string. So that's why we have another solution which is called the printf. Okay, using the printf, you can just use this format. If you wanna put a value inside, with some random text, whatever. Okay, so it's something like that. So if you use the printf, you don't have to mind about the data types. Okay, you don't have to pay attention. If this one is string, this one is integer, it would not matter. It will work. Okay, so you can just use printf, and then we will need Steven, right, which is the name. So if you want to put a value, just use the curly brackets. Okay, name is, and then age, years old. Okay, as you can see here, I'm putting two values inside this print statement, which is the name and the age, and some random text in between, right? So run this thing. Steven is 25 years old, right? Very, very easy, very straightforward. If you're confused, well, I don't know what's wrong with you. Okay, so yeah, you can try this. Okay, and the next one is, we also have input. Okay, what is input? Input is basically, let's just say we have this, right? The name is Steven. We have a variable called name, and the value is Steven. All right, and the value will always be Steven, right? But for example, what if I want to change this value? Instead of Steven, I want to ask the user. Okay, I want to ask the user, what is your name? And I'm gonna let the user to type their own name. I want to ask the user to type their own age, how old are you, and that kind of stuff. We can use input. Okay, so yeah, we can just try for the name. Instead of just Steven, I can use input, and I can ask the user, what is your name, right? So if I run this thing, it's gonna ask, what is your name? Okay, and whatever I type over here, okay, whatever text that I type over here, for example, Jason. Okay, if I type Jason, this one means, I'm putting this value, this text, this string of Jason to this name variable, right? It's the same thing as the box thing. Okay, instead of putting the value of Steven, the value of the box will depend on the user's input. Okay, so this one means, if I run this thing, if I press enter, it's gonna say Jason is 25 years old. Or you know what? Let's just put, welcome Jason, welcome name. Okay, so something like that. That's the input. What is your name? Okay, Steven. Let's just say, I don't know, Mark. Welcome Mark. Okay, so that is input. Okay, instead of having a fixed value like this, we can use inputs so that the user can type. Okay, whatever, to let the user type using the keyboard of it. Okay, something like that. The next one that we have is this, conditional statement is basically like, if, elif, and else. We can put a certain condition, and then, let the computer know like what should happen if this condition is true, what should happen if this condition is false, and so on. Okay. So for example, I have name and age, and then I also want to ask, sorry, give me 1 minute. Sheesh. Okay. So for example, for the name, okay, for example, I only want to welcome one person, okay, and that one person is called Steven, okay. So we can just put something like this: if name equal Steven. This one means if the name is Steven, what should happen? Okay, print welcome, welcome, or like you are authorized, whatever. Just let's just say welcome, okay. If the name is Steven, we're gonna welcome that person. Okay, so this one means, if I type Steven again, enter is gonna say welcome, right? Because Steven matches with this condition, right? It matched, right? But if I change this one to something else, what is your name? Let's just say the name is Uga Buga, whatever, of course it's not gonna show anything because this condition does not match, okay? So for that kind of thing, if a condition does not match, we can use this keyword called else. Okay, else mean, of course, if this condition does not match, what should happen? Okay, if this condition, matches with this input, it should say welcome. But what if it does not match? We should print something else, right? Like you are an imposter. Get out. Okay, whatever, something like that. Okay, if I run this thing, what is your name? Again, I'm gonna type the same thing, Uga Buga, whatever. Okay, enter. You are an imposter. Get out. You're not Steven. So yeah, that kind of thing, right? So that's very easy, right? And if you want to have more than one condition, of course you can just use elif, right? For example, I have a friend called Mark. Okay, so I want to welcome both Steven and Mark. I can put, welcome Mark, welcome Steven. Okay, something like that. So if you have more than one condition, you can just use elif. That's like basically what it means. Okay, you can put as many elifs as you want. Okay, Steven, Mark, Jason, whatever. Print welcome Jason. Okay, so of course now, if I type Mark, it's gonna say welcome Mark. If I type Jason, it's gonna say welcome Jason. If I type something else, like Fahual Bajlak is gonna say you are an imposter, get out. Okay, so that's basically what it is. We can also use the same thing with age, okay? But you'll see one problem here. If I say input, how old are you, right? This one seems right, right? For example, if your age is less than 15, let's just say, I don't know, print you are young, okay? And then elif age is less than 30, I don't know, you are kind of old, right? And then elif age is less than 50, print you are old. Okay, let's just say, I don't know, elif age is less than 70, you are old. And then else you are old. Okay, whatever. Okay, so this one looks fine, right? But if I run this thing, what is your name, Steven? 79. Okay, it's gonna say error. Okay, what is this? It says type error. This sign is not supported between instances of str and int. So what happens here? What is happening? Maybe some of you guys know. Okay, the problem is with this input thing. Okay, so the problem is if you use input. Okay, if you use input, how do I say it? It's like the default data will be string. Okay, so by default, if you don't specify anything, name input, age input, the computer will understand this as a string. Okay, so this one causes the error. Okay, because the computer does not understand. Oh, you want to compare a string with an integer? That does not make sense. It's like comparing, For example, is Stephen larger than 15? Is it true or not? It does not make sense, right? How do we compare? How do we compare this text with an integer? It does not make any sense, right? So that's why we need to convert this to an integer, okay? If you want to convert this to an integer, you can just type the keyword of int and then opening parentheses and then close it over here, okay? So this one means we want to convert the age to an integer, okay? Run this thing again. What is your name? Steven. How old are you? 19, and it should work. You are kind of old. Okay, let's try this again. What is your name? Steven. How old are you? 99. You are old, 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 old. Okay, so this thing now works, okay, by converting this one to an integer. Okay, hopefully that kind of thing makes sense. Okay, so that's conditional statement. We can move on to this next thing called loop. What is a loop? Okay, a loop is basically a repetition. Okay, if you want to repeat something, you can use loop. We have two different kinds of loop. Okay, the first one is called the for loop. The second one is called while loop. Yeah, whatever. You know what? I want to start with for loop for some reason. Okay. So if you want to repeat something in your program, you can just use loop. Okay, so for example, okay, this is too much. Let's just make a new one. Okay, I'm gonna start with the name again. Name input. What is your name? And then print. Welcome. Name. Right. Of course, if I run this thing, this will work. Right. What is your name? Steven. Welcome, Steven. Right. What is your name? Andy. Okay. Welcome, Andy. Okay. So this one works, but kind of boring, right? It only works one time, and that's all. What if I wanna, let this program to run, multiple times? It's very easy. Okay, you can just put all of these code inside a loop. For example, like while loop. Okay, you can put like while true, for example. Okay, so while true means while the program is running, and you wanna put everything inside. Okay, you wanna put all of these things inside the while loop. Why is that? If you might ask, we need to push this inside because this one signifies that these codes are part of this loop. Okay, so this one and this one, they are a part of this loop. Okay, so if you push it outside, it does not make sense. Okay, while true has nothing in it. So if you push it inside, oh, you are part of our family, you are inside this condition. Okay, something like that. So now if I run this thing again, it's gonna run forever. Okay, what is your name? Steven. Welcome, Steven. It's gonna ask one more time, because it's repeating, right? It's repeating over here. Ask the name, print the name, ask the name, print the name over and over again. Okay, see? It keeps asking, Abigail, welcome, Abigail, Bianca, Carolyn, Daryl, Eugene, Farah. It keeps asking, right? So that's just how it works. That's while loop. Okay. We also have this thing called the for loop. Okay, for loop. For example, I can put for x in range 1, 11. Let's just say 1, 100, and then 1. And you might ask, what is this? What are these nonsense? Okay, basically, if you want to put, 4x in range, this PyCharm thing will explain to you, right? See, we have start, stop, and step. Okay, so we have three parts. The first one is called the starting value. Okay, so let's just say I'm gonna start the loop from 1, and then I can put a comma over here. The next one is called the stop index. Okay, so I want to stop this loop once it reaches the value of 100. Okay, and the next one is called step. So it's like, after the loop ends, after a statement ends, you want to add this value by how many do you want to add to this value of x? I'm gonna put, like, let's just say 5. Okay, so I can just print x, for example. Okay, and what is this x? This x is basically like a variable that keeps changing. Okay, it's like a variable, but the value of this variable will keep changing based on this condition. Okay, the start value is 1, it's gonna stop when it reaches 100, and it's gonna increase by 5. Okay, this one means if I run this thing, as you will see, it's gonna start from 1, and then 6, and then 11, and then 16, and so on until it reaches 96 and it's outside of the scope, right? So, yeah, just like that. Very easy, right? So, yeah, let's just make something normal. Let's just say 1 to 11 increase by 1. We can also put, of course, like printf, right? For example, x, which is the number. 1 dot hello world. Okay, so this one will print something like 1 dot hello world to hello world all the way until 100. Okay, so that's it. We have for loop, we have while loop, kind of similar, but yeah, you can use both. You can use either one.
Okay, hi everyone, it's still me. Finally, I have arrived at home. It's 9 o'clock. I don't have any microphone right now, so hopefully the sound is still okay. Okay, so we're gonna continue. Bro hit every single note. This is
Yo,
cool.
bros, I'm chilling outside right now. Bro, this sunset about to play.
That's cool. That's cool. It's kind of cool, right? So yeah.
How exactly did I discover that my cat
Okay,
likes to be
so
kissed?
let's just continue, okay? So, this question might arise, right? So, may I use Google? May I use ChatGPT? I would say, in short, yes. But of course, you don't want these kind of tools to do every work. For example, this is not allowed. Okay, for example, you want to Google something, how to make snake game in Python. Okay, you might follow this tutorial or like go to this website and you just copy paste every code. That is not allowed. Okay, that is called cheating. You steal from someone else's code. That is not your code. Okay. Yes, but how do you say it? But you only use those tools for assistance. Okay. You don't use those tools to do the entire thing. Okay, you got it. So for example, oh, I have an idea. I want to make this quiz game. Okay, for example, and then oh, I forgot how to use the loop, and then oh, let me just ask Google and ChatGPT how to use the loop. That is allowed. Okay, so as long as you only use those tools for like some assistance, you don't use those tools to do the entire thing. Okay, got it. So that's the rule. Okay, of course I can see it clearly. Okay, if you are doing it on your own or if you just steal someone else's idea, it's very very clear. Okay, so please be honest. Okay, so that's it. Okay, I'm so glad that I have arrived home. Okay, so I think that's it. Okay, so I'm also gonna post maybe like 3 more videos. I'm gonna put those boring videos as the simple personal project ideas. Okay, I'm gonna attach all of the links in the description. Okay, for the simple quiz, a story game, or like a personality test. Like those are very easy examples that mean you might get some inspirations from it. Okay, so that's it. If you wanna look, if you're interested in looking some of these ideas, I'm gonna attach the links in the description. Okay, so see you later.